sons, gather round. Saturday was the day of remembrance for our fallen Gore. So I thought I would tell the story of Calibas, Ran and Gore, two unlikely partners who dared to defy the galaxy's most fearsome criminals, only to find themselves hurled into the unknown. It begins, as most tales of reckless ambition do, aboard a ship that was both a refuge and a curse. The Outlaw's Gambit, a YT-1300 freighter known for its patchwork repairs and dubious modifications, darted through the black void, dodging streaks of emerald death. Calibas, a Corellian born with starfire in his veins, gripped the controls with white-knuckled determination. His co-pilot and mechanic, Gore, a brooding former Imperial soldier, cursed under his breath as alarms howled around them. "You said it'd be simple," Gore growled. "Easy credits, no loose ends." "And it would have been," Calibas shot back, twisting the Gambit through a maze of asteroids, "if the Black Sun weren't so touchy about being double-crossed." Their argument was cut short by another alarm, this one signaling that the hyperdrive was moments from critical failure. Gore's voice was sharp with disbelief. "You want me to jump without coordinates? That's madness." "It's madness," Calibas replied with a grin, "or it's survival. Punch it." Against Gore's better judgment, the lever was thrown, and the stars elongated into streaks. But the Outlaw's Gambit was a temperamental beast. A misfire threw them out of hyperspace with a violent spin, and the engines gave up entirely. Their beloved ship was now little more than a drifting husk. When the ship finally steadied, they found themselves staring at a lush, greenish-blue planet. Gore, ever the pragmatist, began tallying their losses. The Gambit was unsalvageable, a fact that hit Calibas like a blaster bolt to the chest. "She's more than a ship," he muttered. "She's home." "She's scrap," Gore countered. "And unless you fancy being roasted alive on re-entry, we need to abandon her now." Reluctantly, Calibas followed his friend to the escape pods. As the pod jettisoned into the planet's atmosphere, he took one last look at the Outlaw's Gambit. She was a silhouette of fire and smoke, descending to her fiery end. "Goodbye, old girl," he whispered. Their pod crashed into a verdant valley. When Calibas awoke, the air was thick with the hum of unfamiliar life. Gore was unconscious, slumped in his harness. Calibas called for their droid, GKY-9, a feisty little ball of circuits and personality. She rolled up, chirping anxiously, and began scanning Gore. The droid's mood shifted abruptly, her mini-blaster extending as she detected movement nearby. It was a Wakarian lizard monkey, perched atop the escape pod with a mischievous gleam in its obsidian eyes. "Brave, aren't you?" Calibas muttered, lowering his blaster. The creature leapt onto his shoulder, earning a scolding series of beeps from GKY-9. But Calibas, ever the optimist, decided it was a sign of good fortune. Gore woke groggily and groaned, "Call it Jaro." "Seems fitting." "Jaro?" Calibas frowned. "Isn't that Mando A4, Death Wish? Bit grim, don't you think?" "Not as grim as teaming up with you," Gore shot back, managing a wry smile despite the circumstances. As they assessed their situation, a new threat emerged. A figure with a long rifle stepped out from the brush, aiming at the unlikely trio. Calibas, Gore, and their newfound companions froze. And so, dear listeners, their story continued, a tale of survival, cunning, and unexpected alliances. On this strange planet, their fates hung in the balance, but one thing was certain, they were far from the end of their journey. The stars may no longer guide them, but the fire in their hearts burned brighter than ever. This is where I will pause our story for now. Until next time. This is the way.